Seshadri Chari, who heads the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP, Dr. Mehboob Beg of the National Conference, Farooq Abdullah says talks must continue, talks must continue, talks must continue. G. Parthasarathi, former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan, Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress joining on this part of the debate, and in 10-15 minutes we'll open up with our guest from Pakistan. Seshadri Chari, I don't know, what to make of it. On the one side, you have this resolution, which is on the floor of the parliament, which is talking tough to Pakistan. And on the other, there are these tweets or messages from Nawaz Sharif. Look forward to seeing you in New York, kind of messages. And the Salman Khurshid, in an interview to me, keeps the talks route extremely open. Now, does the parliament resolution, in your view, Seshadri Chari, make up? Is that enough? If the Prime Minister goes and meets Nawaz Sharif in 1 month from now, will it not be undoing that process?
No, I think the Parliament resolution in itself is a good thing that has happened, because it has sent a very strong signal to Pakistan, saying that all the politicians and the people of this country have spoken in one voice. But I am very sorry to say that all the signal ends there. I just happened to watch the last few lines of what Mr. Salman Khurshid said. And he refused to say that the Prime Minister will or will not meet. The question is not whether the Prime Minister is going to meet the Pakistani counterpart or not. The question is, what is he going to tell the Pakistani counterpart? What are we going to tell Pakistan? And we have been touting all these years that here is a Pakistani Prime Minister for the first time in the history of Pakistan after 14th August 1947, who made peace with India an election issue, and he got a mandate for that. Is this how he is using that mandate? Are we not going to ask that person, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, what have you done? We can't say that he is a very good man, he is an angel, and he wants all peace with Pakistan. But remember, Pakistan Assembly passed this resolution, and Mr. Nawaz Sharif was part of the resolution.
Yes, but so why this terrible romance? Abhishek Manu Singhvi, that question goes to you. It appears, Dr. Singhvi, that every time there is a new Prime Minister in Pakistan, your government has this, platonic/romantic relationship diplomatically with that person, like Yusuf Raza Gilani, for example. He was described 4 months after the serial blast in Mumbai by our Prime Minister as a man of peace who will rewrite a new chapter in the history of our relationship. Now, there is similar effusiveness in describing Mr. Nawaz Sharif, despite the fact that Nawaz Sharif pushed, supported, backed and got that anti-India resolution passed yesterday on the floor of the Pakistan National Assembly. So, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, why are you doing anger management? You're doing anger management vis-a-vis the people of this country, not vis-a-vis Pakistan. Why are you doing that?
Can I begin, Arnav? Arnav?
Yes.
I think we have to stop tilting at windmills. We are a large, strong, proud country. If Pakistan has passed a resolution yesterday, please understand that you can do precious little about it. What matters is the unity with which we passed our resolution, despite being a democracy, which must pay a democracy tax of greater dissent, greater disagreement, more cacophony, yet we passed a resolution. Now, resolutions have their symbolic value, and Pakistan can pass all the resolutions it wants. It doesn't change India's stand.
Can we look beyond symbolism, Dr. Singhvi?
Secondly, one minute. Let me, you've had a question of till now longer than my answer. Let my answer get a little longer. Secondly, if you think that the answer to Pakistan every time is to go and do a covert or a overt operation, those have their places. How do you know that there are not covert operations going on?
No, who has suggested
How do you know
that?
that covert operations?
Who has suggested that? You are changing the course of the. You are making a suggestion which has never been made. You are responding to a suggestion which has never been made. Dr. Singhvi, you know that. The only question is being asked for you today.
But
why are you doing appeasement of every new Prime Minister in Pakistan? What is your desperation?
Okay, I'll start
Does
all over
Manmohan
again.
Singh think he will
I'll start
rewrite
all over
history in
again.
New York?
I'll start all over again for the benefit of those viewers who've only heard you and not me. I said that if you think that when a new Prime Minister takes up his position, the Indian Prime Minister should write to him a letter of abuse and not say that we hope you will be a man of peace.
No, you are again being hyperbolic, Ms. Dr. Singh. Nobody is suggesting that. Nobody said you are doing all this. All these are your tactics to avoid giving an answer. I am asking you.
Can I complete?
No, but you are, sir. But you are responding to things which have never been said, Dr. Singh. You know that.
Let me give an answer not to your liking. But let me give an answer not to your liking.
No, you don't. You have to give an answer. No, whether to my liking or not is immaterial. But you can't conjecture a situation which I have not said.
Me to answer.
You see, you've made this whole approach. Do you want to go to war approach? Nobody is saying you want to go to war. Somebody is asking you today, what does your optimism and implicit faith in every Prime Minister stem from?
Let's do it like this, Arnab. You project your viewpoint fully. Allow me to answer that uninterrupted. I am prepared to hear your viewpoint more than any other panelist or participants. After you finish, allow me my 1 or 2 minutes uninterrupted. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
I am responding to you,
then tell the viewers that I have not answered your question. But I am going to answer in my own way, and you are not going to interrupt me. I have answered it 1.5 times when you interrupted me 3 times after that. And you decide first, go around your panel, finish the question, then ask me. I'm in no hurry.
Dr. Singhvi, see, I'll ask you one question. So let's do it this way, right? I will ask you the question in 10 seconds.
Don't ask it unless you have the patience to hear my answer.
And then you can answer the question.
Don't ask the question.
Instead of one second. My question to you is, you tell me clearly and tell all the panelists clearly. This is what we hope to achieve in New York. What do you hope to achieve in New York? That's it.
Okay, now this is a different question, right? You have changed the question. Let me answer your changed question.
That was the same question.
New York. Anyway. What we hope to achieve in New York, you have to ask the government or the foreign minister. I speak for the Congress party. I don't know. It's a government policy, what they hope to achieve in New York. But I have a few other answers for this very question. Your approach that after an event, we should completely sulk, as they say in Hindi, do katti and sit in a corner, may not be the best approach, even though it's an argumentative approach which you have been projecting again and again. We are strong, we are prepared for the worst, we still hope for the best, but we must keep some door, some window open.
Okay,
after Pakistan does this, we condemn them. We pass a resolution in the parliament. We do not agree to their stands. We bring them international opprobrium, but it doesn't mean that we sulk. We don't sulk because we are not.
We didn't. Nobody's suggesting us. One second. Dr. Singhvi, let's get reaction. Seshadri Chari wants to say something. Seshadri Chari quickly, and then G. Parthasarathi. Seshadri Chari quickly, please.
1 second.
And then G. Parthasarathi.
We are.
1 second. Let's get reaction.
I have no doubt. Along with that, the government of India is taking the whole range and panoply of suitable.
I take that at face value.
Not always to be discussed.
I take that at face value. Seshadri Chari is responding, then I'll get G. Parthasarathi in. He's not a political voice.
No, I think I can understand the predicament of the Congress spokespersons when they say it is for the government to decide and government will tell you what the answer is and what we are going to talk to the Prime Minister of Nawaz Sharif. I think if it was so undecided as to whether the Prime Minister will meet Nawaz Sharif or not in the first place, and whether he will go to New York or not in the second place, and then even if he comes face to face with the Prime Minister of Pakistan, what is he going to talk about except weather and the price of onions in this country and compare it with Indian price of onions? The most important element here is we are talking about keeping a door open for talks while Pakistan has shut that door right bang on your face. Let us face the reality very straight. If you are going to talk to Pakistan, are we going to structure it? Are we going to go back to 2004? Are we going to talk about Sharm el-Sheikh? Are we going to talk to them terrorism? What are we going to talk?
You see, let's get Mehboob Beg wanted to come in. Yes, Mehboob Beg.
Let me just make one point, just 1 second. Mr. Chari is saying this with a straight face when his Prime Minister rightly, and I say rightly, did not shut the door after Kargil, did not shut the door after Parliament attack, had Agra, had Bas Yatra, much more serious incidents because he did not close the door. I don't understand how the BJP can sermonize in that completely hypocritical manner.
I fully
the
agree.
fact
No,
that
no,
you
no,
talk
this-
to somebody is never a sign of weakness. You
Mr.
should not, as Kennedy put it, fear to negotiate.
Let's get the others in. Let's
Mr.
get the others
Singhvi,
in. Now it's
Mr.
time for
Singhvi,
Mehboob
I
Beg to
agree
come
with
in.
you.
Seshadri Chari, let's open it up. Otherwise,
Mr.
all our panelists won't get equal turn.
Okay, Mr.
Seshadri
Singhvi, I agree
Seshadri
with you.
Chari, I give the floor to Mehboob Beg at this stage. Dr. Mehboob Beg.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Arnab. Let's not forget that it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee, former Prime Minister of India, who showed us the way, who showed us how to go about it. And he went on engaging even with army dictator who was in command in Pakistan that point of time. And rightly so, I tell you. In spite of the fact that we had a parliament attack, we had what we had in Kargil, in spite of all this, he went on talking, and rightly so. I say you have to have a conviction like he had. I don't know why BJP has forgotten that, and because we have issues with Pakistan, and we the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and we people living in Jammu and Kashmir and state of Jammu and Kashmir are directly affected by our relationship
and let
with
me tell
Pakistan.
you,
the better relationship we have.
Sir, Dr. Beg, let me just tell you that as of this minute I have breaking news. This minute I have breaking news I want to share with you. Because as much as the people of Jammu and Kashmir, every citizen of India is concerned, as of this minute the Border Security Force has foiled another Pakistan Border Action Team attack. As of this minute. So if the Prime Minister of India needs to be specific as of this minute, how many such Border Action Team attacks, how many more Pakistan Army attacks will be continued to happen, and before we clink glasses in New York? Ji Patsati, what are you making of the political situation right now? And do you think the resolution is enough?
Let me put it this way.
Give me a minute, please?
I think our parliamentarians have risen above party considerations in this resolution.
Right.
Firstly, it's a clear message to Pakistan: don't take restraint to be a sign of weakness.
That's true.
Secondly, it speaks of respecting the sanctity of the line of control, and I'll come to you why that's important. And I want to deal with this romanticism about Nawaz Sharif. Okay?
Whose romanticism? Let's be clear. The government?
No, romanticism. The third point is, very clearly it has reiterated the 1994 Parliament resolution that the whole state of Jammu and Kashmir, including Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, are a part of India, and that is the only subject. So hats off to our parliamentarians, the statesmanship shown in Parliament.
Absolutely.
Now coming to the situation as it is, with regard to summits. Now, personally, as a professional diplomat, having watched how summits are organized, there is extensive preparatory work which goes into a summit, and only the I's are dotted and the T's crossed by the leaders.
Right.
That means there should be extensive preparations, because you can't afford to have a failed summit.
That's true.
The Agra summit by Mr. Vajpayee was a failure. It was unprepared, and it led to the attack on our parliament, because they took that as a sign of weakness. But the 2004 summit he had with Musharraf was very well prepared, with extensive preparations by Brajesh Mishra, which led to Musharraf giving a written assurance that territory under Pakistan's control will not be used for terrorism. Right. He arrived at a political assessment that he meant to keep it because he himself was under threat. That stuck along. Then came Mumbai. And that is where we made a very serious mistake. The political dimensions within Pakistan had changed. You had a weak government and a strong army chief, and I remember Kayani in 1999 was very close, when I was there, to the Lashkar-e-Taiba as the divisional commander in the Kashmir sector then. Now, what has happened is, since then, we had that disgraceful episode in Sharm el-Sheikh, which was a total surrender, and I think it was, to say that terrorism, if Pakistan indulges in terrorism, it will not affect the composite dialogue.
Yes, yes.
This is one thing you said.
Yes.
Then you go on and you say that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism like us. False. And then you give them a clear signal that you go ahead with terrorism and these talks will continue.
Right.
Which was a total reversal of the position taken in 2004. We paid the price. We've had the Bombay bomb blasts, various other things, now these LOC incidents. Now, if the Prime Minister goes fully prepared, knowing what he wants, it's okay. Now, all this romanticism, I want to get to know Nawaz
What can the Prime Minister
No,
want?
just a minute, let me say. I'll tell you what I want. Let's be clear of Nawaz Sharif. 1993 Mumbai bomb blasts, in which 250 Indians died, was executed in Nawaz Sharif's first term, and his personally handpicked DG ISI, Lieutenant General Javed Nasir, was indicted even by the Americans. Nawaz Sharif comes in 1999. In my presence, he's playing footsie with the Khalistanis, inviting them for jattas. Then he sends his information minister and the governor of Punjab to meet the Lashkar-e-Taiba chief, Hafiz Mohammad Saeed. Hafiz Mohammad Saeed has for 2 generations been close to the Nawaz Sharif family.